All right, Magistrate Court, Chief Magistrate Justin Vidal presiding. Officer, name yourself.
Senior Constable Nub McCone, sir.
Okay, Nub Cone, Senior Constable. Defendant, please name yourself.
Brian
You got a last name, Brian?
Barnes.
Brian Barnes.
Yep.
Okay. Alrighty then, here's how this is going to work. I'm going to be asking questions in the middle of this to ensure that the defense and the prosecution both gets a fair trial. This is a conversation, and I will be a part of it. That being said, here's what's going to happen. The prosecution, right over there, is going to go ahead and tell me what happened, why what happened was definitely a crime, and why they are super duper sure that you done did that crime, Mr. Barnes. After which, you will
Yep.
tell me your version of events, why whatever happened wasn't a crime, why you definitely didn't do it, or it is reasonable to suspect somebody else did, and we're going to go from there. If you do have an objection, please wait for somebody to finish talking before objecting. Also, please note that police misconduct, such as excessive use of force, hitting your car with their car, and stuff like that, is not pertinent to whether you're guilty or not. You can enter a complaint into IBAC or you can file a complaint with the court, but it will not affect your guilt or innocence. Do you understand that, Mr. Barnes?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Officer, if you'd please like to open up the case and set the stage.
All right, Your Honour. So the three charges that I was looking at today actually was assault with a deadly weapon, conduct endangering life, and resist arrest. So this all started. I was responding to a call for assistance from another unit. This was in the honour security area, just near the bridge there, I believe, or the next street over, somewhere in that area. Once I arrived on scene, I saw this individual inside of a vehicle that was being blocked by several other vehicles at the time, which were in fact police vehicles, plus one other person who was holding a golf club screaming at this person here in the hoodie. That person could not be found afterwards. He ran off. However, this person here repeatedly drove backwards and forward, running several officers over. I believe it was two officers at the time that got run over by this vehicle that this person was in control of. He also rammed several different police cars. After he had run over an officer, the CERT unit on scene took lethal shots on the tyres in an attempt to stop the vehicle. However, that was unsuccessful. Afterwards of that, the suspect was beanbagged or tased out of the vehicle. I'm not sure which one. A couple of officers fired at the same time. Suspect was then on the ground and incapacitated, possibly from the injuries sustained from either the beanbag or the taser. The suspect here was then yelling at the top of his lungs, saying some stuff I probably can't repeat here, but that's beside the point. The suspect was then taken to the hospital, and then I took him back to Vespucci police station for processing, which is when I gave him the chance to call a lawyer, a friend, a family member, or to take his case to court. Sorry.
Alrighty then. So just to be clear, what was the reason for the police units on scene, a 000 call, and if so, what kind?
Your Honour, I believe there was some form of a pursuit that happened, however, I only just flown in.
Okay. But you are the arresting officer, correct?
I am the arresting officer, Your Honour.
Perfect. And then the reason that you know that this was the man that was in the car surrounded by police cars is because he was uh, incapacitated from within the car during the incident.
Yes, Your Honour, I was standing on top of my vehicle and had a clear shot of both his face and the shirt that he was wearing, which is the same one he is wearing now, I believe.
All right. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we give it to the defense?
Not currently, Your Honour.
Okay, Mr. Barnes, the police have alleged that there was a incident that when this officer arrived, your car was surrounded by police cars, that you attempted to evade those police cars, that you may have injured some police with your vehicle, and that you were arrested on scene after being essentially shot out of your car. So go ahead and give me your course of events and why whatever happened is not a crime or why it definitely wasn't you.
So, basically, it wasn't me driving. Um, it was my mate driving, and we were speeding, and then I guess the cops saw us. We got chased for a bit, and then we got cornered into like some um like alleyway or like garage room, and all the cops stopped us. I was just in the driver's seat, but not the driver's seat, sorry, the passenger seat. And then yeah, everything happened. I got shot, but I never had a weapon or anything. But yeah, I wasn't driving, but I did shout and everything.
Okay, so officer, are we sure this man was driving the vehicle and was there a second suspect?
Yes, Your Honour, there was a second sus. The reason I believe this individual was driving, I did have a clear shot of it. However, I'm unsure whether the other person was wearing the same things, but this person was shot out of the vehicle either by beanbag, taser, or a stray shot from CERT, if that's possible. And he was incapacitated due to the danger he posed to us like that.
Okay, and where is the second suspect?
I believe this second suspect was pulled out of the vehicle as well, and then the second suspect jumped into the vehicle after this one was incapacitated and attempted to continue, which he was
Alrighty then.
arrested shortly after.
Okay, so Mr. Barnes, it sounds like there was a second suspect who you claim was the driver. That's correct.
That is correct.
Okay. So, Mr. Barnes, you do not have to answer this question. This is simply a question. Why were you fleeing from police? Because you were allegedly speeding?
Yeah, that is correct.
Okay. At any time, did you attempt to surrender to police or tell your driver to stop and surrender?
No, sir.
At any time, did you contact the police via your phone in an attempt to help them catch the driver of the vehicle?
No, sir.
Okay. Current charges are assault with a deadly weapon, conduct endangering life, and resisting arrest. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honour.
Okay. So here is the deal, sir. Um, you can be the passenger of a car and still guilty of crimes committed with a car because you are an accomplice. Okay? So what we're going to do here is we're going to drop assault with a deadly weapon. The deadly weapon would have been the car, Mr. Barnes. That's what they were accusing you of.
Oh,
So
yeah.
we're going to drop assault with a deadly weapon. We're going to keep conduct endangering life. And resisting arrest, we are going to change to engaging in a police pursuit. We will also add in, if the prosecution wants, did he make threats up to the police life? Make threats to kill or anything like that?
I don't believe so, Your Honour. He was more yelling some words that I can't really repeat here.
That is fine. So we're going to go with conduct endangering life and engaging in a police pursuit. Prosecution, do you have a problem with that?
No, Your Honour.
Defense, do you have a problem with that?
No.
Okay, to explain the ruling, being in a car with somebody committing a crime and not attempting to stop them makes you an accomplice to the crime. Ergo, you are guilty of conduct endangering life, as you admit that you were speeding with your friend or accomplice, and then they tried to escape police, potentially running officers over. The only reason you're not also getting assault with a deadly weapon is that is more of a specific crime of driving into the officers, which obviously we are not beyond a reasonable doubt that you are guilty of because there was a second individual in the car and you could have been dressed alike. That being said, resisting arrest, we're going to drop to engaging in a police pursuit because, as noted, you stated that you and your accomplice fled. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. For the record, what is Mr. Barnes' criminal record? Is he violent or does he have repeated speeding or vehicle charges?
Your Honour, his record is completely clear.
Mr. Barnes, at this time, you're going to be remanded to His Majesty's Remand Center for no less than 40 weeks.
Yes, sir.
And you will be charged minimum for conduct endangering life and engaging in a police pursuit. Bailiff, if you could please take the defendant into custody and see him taken to jail. Court dismissed.